Hello everyone. Before I start, I hope that you and your family is healthy and doing well. Mirai Asset is coming out with India's first ETF and fund of fund on ESG investing. But before I talk about the product, I like to talk about the concept of ESG investing and why it is important to you as an investor and also as a human being. The world we live in is increasingly getting impacted by the ways companies are functioning. The adverse impact by industries on environment due to issues like pollution, on society due to poor practices with respect to employees, vendors, customers, etc., and on organization itself due to loss of efficiency and shareholder money due to misgovernance is draining the valuable resources we have for our generation and for the future ones. Due to increased globalization, awareness, regulation, and activism, the companies are increasingly getting impacted by non financial issues related to environmental, social, and governance parameter, or in short, ESG parameters. And society is also now realizing the importance of these issues in the sustainable development of not only the company but of the world we live in. Companies that integrate planet, people, and profit into its core corporate structure tends to have a competitive advantage over others, which may in turn translate to sustainable profit in the long run. Whereas companies which have poor policies and performance on ESG parameters faces higher possibility of negative events, which not only affects companies but also all stakeholders, including investors, which may face significant loss of wealth. ESG investing is about identifying and investing in companies which have sustainable business model by having better policies and practices on ESG parameters. These companies typically have future ready, robust business model which focuses on creative positive impact on all stakeholders in order to contribute to the society, reduce the company specific risk, have stable wealth generation, and overall better efficiency and valuation. ESG investing also ignore companies which have any significant controversy which may have material impact on the company and the companies which are into ethically questionable businesses like tobacco, alcohol, gambling, etc. Hence, a portfolio which incorporates ESG investing will typically consist of companies which don't have any significant controversies or issues, have great internal and external policies and practices leading to better resource management, higher efficiency, better brand image, better valuation due to lower cost of capital, and lower possibility of wealth erosion due to negative events. Empirical studies across the globe has found out that sustainable investing has not only met but often exceeded the performance of comparable traditional investments which do not focus on sustainable investments or investing in sustainable companies. This is on both an absolute and importantly on a risk adjusted basis across asset classes and over time. So the common notion that investing in sustainable companies which focuses on people and planet also along with the profit leads to performance penalty clearly does not hold true. In fact, the opportunity to get strong financial performance along with the chance to align your investment with your values and belief has led to exponential growth of sustainable investing across the globe. In fact, global sustainable funds recorded $45.6 billion of inflows in the first quarter of 2020 amid the COVID-19 pandemic. ESG funds were resilient and completely avoided the COVID-19 market sell-off over the first quarter of 2020 that saw more than $380 billion withdrawn from overall fund universe. ESG funds in general have outperformed non-ESG funds during the times of COVID-19 pandemic across the globe. ESG is hence a noble investment strategy that scores on performance and morals. Talking about it in Indian context, we have seen time and again how some corporates have suffered due to poor governance issues, product issues such as adulteration, environmental damages leading to closure of plants, failure of internal mechanism to detect frauds, etc. Identifying companies with robust ESG policies and performance will help investor navigate such issues and provide an avenue to generate wealth with lower risk. We are observing that people in general are becoming more conscious of their consumption and choices. We Indians have started perceiving need to contribute towards the society by meeting the need of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. Mirai Asset is introducing India's first ESG based exchange rate fund and a fund of fund also. This product will track Nifty 100 ESG Sector Leaders Index, a true to label ESG index which tracks the performance of large cap companies which have higher ESG performance in their respective sector, does not have any significant controversy, has better ESG performance than global peers within its own industry, and is not involved in any ethically questionable businesses. In a nutshell, by investing in this portfolio, you'll be investing in companies with sustainable business model from ESG perspective, and also will be avoiding controversial companies and questionable businesses across sectors. Selection of such companies across sectors helps in keeping sectoral exposure diversified, but it reduces the stock specific or company specific risk by excluding the poor performers or companies which have poor practices on ESG parameters and have any of the ongoing controversies on any of the pillars. Overall, Nifty 100 ESG Sector Leader Index provides exposure to 15 sectors of the Indian economy by capturing 48 large cap stocks currently. The Nifty 100 ESG Sector Leader Index will be reviewed on a semi-annual basis in June and December every year. The review will assess whether existing constituents of an index continues to fulfill and adhere to ESG norms, and if not, such stock will be replaced by other ESG compliant stocks. In addition to the scheduled rebalancing on an ongoing basis, each constant will be kept under check with regards to severe controversy. And in case of a significant controversy or an issue, the company is excluded as soon as possible. In terms of performance, since its launch to September 30th, 2020, Nifty 100 ESG Sector Leaders Index has generated an annualized return of 12% with an annualized volatility of 16.8%. During the same period, Nifty 100 index has given a lower return of 10.8% with higher annualized volatility of 17.2%. Similarly, in last 3 years, the index has outperformed Nifty 50 by 2.5%, and this year to date has outperformed Nifty 50 by 5.7%, and all this with lower volatility. Compared to regular plan of large cap mutual fund, this index has outperformed 96% of funds in last 3 year period and 89% of funds in last 1 year period. Thus, Mirai Asset ESG Sector Leader ETF and Fund of Fund will help in satisfying the dual objective of an investor. That is, to generate better risk adjusted return by investing in sustainable and responsible companies. At the lower expense ratio than typical large cap funds, Mirai Asset ESG Sector Leaders ETF and Fund of Fund can be viewed as a part of your core portfolio, as this large cap, sector agnostic, and stock level diversified portfolio will seek to create higher wealth with lower risk in the long run. Hence, by investing in an ESG portfolio, you are not only contributing to a better tomorrow by incentivizing companies to incorporate ESG practices, but you are doing so with the possibility of generating higher wealth with lower risk. ESG is hence a noble investment strategy that scores on performance and morals and provides an opportunity to grow your wealth with sustainable investing. The NFO opens on 27th October and closes on 10th November 2020. We hope for your participation in this NFO. Happy investing. Thank you.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.